What does he mean by this parable? He means that all the other ways of living in this world are eventually going to crash. They are going to collapse. And anyone who is invested in those ways of living, whatever household you're part of, if that household is destroyed, you will suffer great loss. You might be destroyed with it. And so he uses this illustration. He's saying the stuff that he's taught in the Sermon on the Mount, you've got to actually go out and start doing it. That's the focus here. You got to put these words of his, all these things he's just taught, turning the other cheek, loving your enemy, not judging people, thinking of life pretty much exactly the opposite of the way you thought of it before, living by asking God for things, seeking God first before you're trying to make sure you have everything for yourself. You're turning life upside down and you're living that way. Because in the end, this is the only wise way to live. One day, all the other ways of life, all the other kingdoms will come crashing down. So, a couple of things to highlight here. It's actually putting his words into practice that are the key. Doing the things he teaches us to do. And another thing to highlight is that it's both the person who builds their house on sand and the person who builds their house on the rock. Both of these people experience the storm. The storms come to every human life. The difference is, with God at your side, living his way, you will survive the storm. It doesn't mean it's going to be all roses and sunshine. No, it's going to be a storm sometimes. The storm will also come suddenly, right? It was great to be down there in Florida, chilling on the beach. It was beautiful sunshine. Some people didn't want to leave, even when they were warned that a very powerful hurricane was coming, right? They didn't want to leave because they said, well, I don't see any hurricane. Looks just fine to me. I'm sure I'll be okay. This is the same kind of thing Jesus is telling us. A hurricane is coming. The only way of life that will survive it is his way of life. Even though that way sounds really scary sometimes.